This video is presented to you by www.testprepadda.com. Dear students, in the previous session, we have started the discussion of different approaches to solve trigonometric equations. In this session also, we will continue doing that. Okay, here I am going to discuss approach 5. Solving trigonometric equation by knowing boundaries or extremes. For example, if I say sin x, we know the maximum value of sin x is +1 and minimum value of sin x is -1. So in many cases, these boundaries will help you in getting the solutions of trigonometric equations. So it is very important to know few things like mod sin x will be less than or equal to 1, mod cos x will be less than or equal to 1, mod sec x will be greater than or equal to 1, mod cosec x will be greater than or equal to 1, mod tan x will be greater than or equal to 0, mod cot x will be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, similarly the maximum value of sin x as 1, minimum value of sin x as 1, cos x same way. Okay, now this method will be useful in those cases where in the equation variables are of different natures. Okay, or in one equation more than one variables are given. So those type of equations can be solved with the help of boundaries or extremes. Okay, so I'll take a question here to understand this method. Question is, find all values of k for which the system of equations sin x into cos 2y is equal to k square minus 1 square plus 1 and cos x sin 2y is equal to k plus 1 has a solution and determine all solutions. Okay, here the question says find all values of k for which the system of equations sin x cos 2y is equal to k square minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1 and cos x sin 2y is equal to k plus 1 has a solution, and we have to determine all solutions. Okay, now if you look at the given equations, the left hand side, the LHS of both the equations, the LHS lies between -1 to +1. Okay, so equations will be valid when minus 1 less than or equal to k square minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1 less than or equal to 1, and similarly minus 1 less than or equal to k plus 1 less than or equal to 1. So equations will be valid when these two are true. If I consider the first one only, here I can write easily that k square minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1 less than or equal to 1. It's a positive quantity. So k square minus 1 to the power 2 less than or equal to 0. And since this is positive, the only true thing is equality. So I can write here k square minus 1 to the power 2 is equal to 0. It cannot be negative, right? That is why I have written here equal to 0. So k square minus 1 equal to 0, and this way I get k as plus 1 or minus 1. K is plus 1 and minus 1. Now if I check the second equation here, minus 1 less than or equal to k plus 1 less than or equal to 1. Here k is equal to 1 is not true, because if I write k is equal to 1, then it becomes 2, and that is not less than 1. So the only possible value, of k that is correct here is minus 1. Okay, so minus 1 is the only value of k. Now if I substitute this k, in these two equations, I get sin x cos 2y is equal to 1 and cos x sin 2y equal to 0. Okay, now if I add and subtract, by adding and subtracting we can get sin x plus 2y is equal to 1 and sin x minus 2y is equal to 1. Okay, when you add you can easily say sin a cos b plus cos a sin b, and that is sin a plus b. When you subtract you can easily say sin a minus b. Okay, now with the help of this, first I can write x plus 2y is equal to, recall sin x is equal to sin theta. Okay, so here you can say x plus 2y is equal to 2n pi plus pi by 2. Check sin x minus 2y is equal to 1. Here also I can write in similar manner x minus 2y is equal to 2m pi plus pi by 2, where m belongs to integer. Here n belongs to integer. If I solve, I can get x as n plus m pi plus pi by 2 and y as n minus m by 2 pi, where n and m they belong to integer. Okay, so this way we got the solutions. So here we used boundary condition. Okay, now I'm going to discuss another approach for solving trigonometric equations. Now I'll talk about approach 6, where the trigonometric equation can be solved by changing the variable or by introducing a variable. Now to understand this, I'll take a question here. Question says solve 1 minus tan theta into 1 plus tan theta into sec square theta plus 2 to the power tan square theta is equal to 0. Okay, now here if you see, it is 1 minus tan theta into 1 plus tan theta. So I can write this as 1 minus tan square theta. As you know, a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. So I can write 1 minus tan theta into 1 plus tan theta as 1 minus tan square theta into sec square theta plus 2 to the power tan square theta is equal to 0. Now sec square theta can be written as 1 plus tan square theta. So the equation becomes 1 minus tan square theta into 1 plus tan square theta plus 2 to the power tan square theta is equal to 0. Now you can see everywhere it is tan square theta. So I'll write in place of tan square theta t. Okay. So put tan square theta as t. The equation will become 1 minus t into 1 plus t plus 2 to the power t is equal to 0. So 1 minus t into 1 plus t, again a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. So I can write this as 1 minus t square plus 2 to the power t is equal to 0. Okay, now if you look at this equation carefully, you can easily say that this is true if t is equal to 3. How? If I write here, it becomes 1 minus 3 square plus 2 to the power 3, which is equal to 1 minus 9 plus 8. So it is 0. So this equation is true if t is equal to 3. And if t is equal to 3, t is what? Tan square theta. So I can write this as tan square theta is equal to 3. Okay. Now, no need to take root here. 3 I can write as root 3 square. Okay, and root 3 will be written as tan pi by 3. So it becomes tan square pi by 3. Tan 60 degrees root 3. Tan pi by 3 is root 3. So if you now look at this equation, it becomes tan square theta is equal to tan square pi by 3. Recall the standard equation, tan square theta is equal to tan square alpha. In that case, theta was n pi plus minus alpha. So the solution of this equation will become theta is equal to n pi plus minus pi by 3. Okay, so here we have solved this question by introducing a variable t. Okay, dear students, when you solve trigonometric equation, you need to remember few things like if they have not mentioned anything, if they have not specified any domain, then you need to give general solutions. Okay, you need to give general solutions of the given trigonometric equation. Another important point, when you solve trigonometric equation, you should avoid squaring. You should not do the that square until and unless it is required. And if you do this square, then you need to remove extra solutions. Okay, and another important point, avoid the cancelling of any term. For example, if I write cos 2x into cos x is equal to cos 2x. Do not cancel this cos 2x and this cos 2. Instead of that, you take equation, or you write equation in this manner and take the common. Because if you cancel cos 2x here, then you will lose the solution given by this equation. Cos 2x is equal to 0. You will be having solutions only from cos x is equal to 1. So it is very important not to cancel the terms. Okay. And if they have mentioned the domain, if they mention the interval, then do not change the interval. You should avoid changing the interval. Okay, so these are a few important points that you need to remember while solving a trigonometric equations. So we have discussed here different approaches for solving trigonometric equations. All the best. Thank you. This video is presented to you by www.testprepadda.com. TestPrepAdda.com provides free audio-visual lectures of different subjects by expert faculties, free online tests prepared by expert faculties to students who are preparing for engineering or medical entrance exams or planning to take exams like KVPY, Olympiad, etc. It provides a platform where students can interact with mentors to improve their performance in the exams. The mission of this online medium is to help students to achieve their goals. Log on to www.testprepadda.com to watch free video lectures on different topics, to download free revision notes, to take free chapter-wise online tests, progressive test, and mock test, to discuss doubts with mentors. Thank you for watching the video. To stay up to date with the latest videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on our Facebook page, Test Prep Adda. All the best.